So I just got back from a residency welcome meeting. They have them at the beginning of every month because they're kind of like this rolling residency. Like people can, I think some people come for a short time, some people come for long times. Some of them are coming for like half a year, some of them are just coming for a month or a couple weeks. But at the beginning of every month, the new residents are introduced. Like it's like a little mixer, and there's usually food, and then they give a 15-minute presentation about their work. Anissa and I didn't get to go to the first one. We did ours remotely because we were still teaching. But so that was it. I really enjoy these. In fact, I feel like I'm probably different than the average bear because I love like community and collaboration and stuff. So I feel like I would love like more resident pair ups and hangouts and socializing. Just because I love getting to know the other artists and how they think and where they're from and what they do. So it was fun, but it was also surreal because this is the last welcome meeting Anissa and I are going to go to because this is our last month. So it was a little sobering. Like, okay, I need to really make sure I write down like the things I want to do before I go because it's creeping in. So it's like, it's weird because it's like, this has been such a thing that I was like working towards, and then I was like in it, and I was working hard for the opportunities that are within it. And now I'm going to start making the shift to working to get home and starting to prepare for the semester in the fall. So yeah, it's just been interesting, all the different phases and chapters of this. My friend Grace, okay, so last week, my cousin Brittany came last weekend, and that was so fun. And her friend Americo, and gosh, we went like all around the city, I feel like. And then like right after that, my husband Clint came, and Clint and I usually spend literally all our time together. So it almost feels like I'm missing a limb half the time, only it's just like my husband isn't around. I was just like in such a state of peace when he was like, I felt, I don't know, like I felt finished or something. Like I just couldn't get over. I just felt like happy and relaxed and just, yeah, I think I feel like very safe around him, emotionally and physically. Like he's a big bulky dude, and like there is a lot of moments here where maybe someone that is on a substance or I'm not sure. There's been a few times where I've been approached in a way that I felt scared. One time was with Brittany last weekend. This person was like chasing people with this big chain, and for a second, it looked like a metal chain, and he had like pock marks from drugs on his face. So I'm not sure if he was on substances or what, but he was chasing a group of like teenagers, and for a second it looked like he was chasing us, and I like grabbed Brittany to pull her out of the way because it was so scary. But then he like told us that he wasn't chasing us, but he was chasing these other people. But so like I feel physically safe around Clint because like somebody stole my wallet once on a train in Chicago, and Clint chased that guy down and got it back. So Clint's just a strong, trustworthy person. But also, like, when I'm stressed, he helps me work through it and stuff like that. And, like, we're just, like, a really good team. So, yeah, I just couldn't get over because I'd been so used to being in this state of stress of just, like, like, what I like about my hometown is I know it like the back of my hand, like where Clint and I live right now in northern Kentucky, Cincinnati. Like, I know how to like do the things I need to do very quickly and efficiently. Whereas here, because it's new to me, it's like I'm constantly I spend so much time figuring stuff out. Like, where do I do this? Where do I do that? How do I connect with this person to do this? How do I do that? So I feel like there's a lot of stress of just like figuring out how to like live, how to do my basic needs, and then how to do my art practice in a place where I'm unfamiliar. And like, for example, like I print a lot of patterns in my work, and I had no place to print them, and I ultimately ended up using the projector to like trace them. But so just like little things like that, like I feel like I've been in this constant state of like figuring stuff out. And then, as a woman, like I never put two earbuds in when I'm on the street because I always need to hear if somebody is gonna like try to come after me. So yeah, I feel like calmer when I'm around Clint. Like I feel like everything's gonna be okay or something. I can't explain. I'll have to keep thinking about how to put language to that. But so then, like a day or two after Clint left, my friend Grace came. I went to the studio in between and got some stuff done. That's kind of how I've been like structuring this summer. Is like because I've been so lucky that so many people that I care about came to visit. I have this like weird itch on my face. That's why I keep scratching it. And so like, I knew I was going to have visitors. So what I try to do is like when there are no visitors and no residency things, I just hit it to the studio and try to get as much done as possible. And then I just have a list of stuff I want to do in the city. And then when people come, I try to check a few things off. Because I know we're going to be like running around and doing stuff. But yeah, so I was in the studio in between Clint and Grace, and then Grace came, and Grace and I had not seen each other since before COVID. So I'm gonna guess like we probably saw each other probably like December of 2019. We did a show together in Chicago, and we like stayed at our this artist's house that we just think the world of him. And so yeah, it had been a long time, and it's interesting, like, I feel like the dynamics of all your relationships are different, but I feel like Grace and I speak the same language in a way that's like, I don't know how to explain it. But so that's why I'm hoarse, if you can't tell, is because Grace and I talked from the moment she got here to the moment she left. But I mean that in like the best, most exciting way, because it's just interesting. Like we talk about so many things about like life and art and philosophies on the world, and like I felt like I processed so much when she was here, because we just like unpacked so many things, good or bad. Like we talk about things we're struggling with, we talk about things we're excited about, we talk about projects we're working on, we talk about balancing being a maker and surviving, like just so many different things. And so I felt like so intellectually stimulated, I guess, and like by the end of it, like I just felt like really focused and clear. It was really a treat. Somewhere in there, I don't know if I mentioned this, I think it was the day Brittany left, but the day before Clint came, I had a business meeting with a friend from home named Kurt. I've had business meetings in the past with places that are like retired business people that help you with your goals, and those are great, but I have struggled in those situations because sometimes I find that non-artists like do not get me. And I keep trying to like improve that communication, because I love getting outside feedback and like seeing my life from like a different perspective. But I've had some traumatizing experiences in different business coaching situations, and but I'd been wanting some advice because I've got a lot of business ideas that I've been brewing for a while, and I wanted to get the perspective of a business person. And I knew this friend who is a creative person, but also like got their advanced degrees in business and work business jobs right now. And she generously agreed to chat with me, and it was amazing. And she like knew all the right words to say to like bring business to my level, because I've always got the creative ideas. I just struggle with the business side, and yeah, I feel like I've been noodling over that for a while now. It was awesome. So yeah, and I don't know if I've mentioned that Anissa and I, my roommate and I, we are in this like text group with the Kentucky artists that did this residency last year, and they've checked on us a few times because they're amazing and sweet, and they said, honestly, we think we're still processing that residency even now, like a year later. And I could totally see why, because I mean, first of all, I've had the privilege of like taking care of myself this summer. Like I've been like getting adequate sleep and getting way more exercise than I think I've gotten in the past few years, and like way too many sunburns, but lots of vitamin D, I suppose. And I've been like eating well. And the result of that is I feel like my mind is on in a way. I don't know. I don't know when the last time things felt this clear. And I just feel like so much of my daily life is like triaging and like running to the next thing, and like sleep deprivation built on top of sleep deprivation built on top of like projects I'm behind on. Like it just feels like this like race that I never catch up on. And it's been so nice to just like evaluate. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like I love my life and I miss all of it, and I'm excited to cherish it more now that I've been without it for a few months. I know I'm gonna go home like and just be happy to be there, which is nice because I think it's easy to sit in that resentment, you know, like when you're just constantly like in deadlines and tired and feeling behind, like it's easy to kind of just start to feel resentful. And I think I got to spend some time just thinking about how much I love it all, and I feel like that's a great renewed sense of hope that I get to bring home with me. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to be processing this forever. Like it's just been so many breakthroughs, so many important conversations, both from the residency, but also from like all the amazing people who have visited me. And I've made a lot of breakthroughs conceptually within myself, and I've gotten a ton of work done. I've seen like a million things. Like, so yeah, it's been a lot, but in a good way. So yeah, I feel like I'm having like 2 years worth of breakthroughs and experiences in like 3 months. And then it may take me that long to catch up, who knows. But so I do have another visitor in like 10 days. My friend Mandy's coming, and I'm excited. We're going to take a dance class. We're going to go see my friend Yali's performance, and I don't know, maybe hit some museums or anything she wants to do. So that'll be fun. But in between now and then, I'm going to be like getting stuff done, trying to get ready for this final show. So, oh, one more thing. I do this online coaching program that I'm obsessed with. It's called The Clutch. And they did a burnout breakthrough this summer, which I'm so glad they did because I had the time to do it. And the like catchphrase of it this summer was how human of me. And, you know, I feel like it's really become my mantra this summer of like, anytime something just wasn't going right or I made a mistake or whatever, I just go like, how human of me. And then I like give myself the patience and the grace to just like not obsess over it. So that's been cool. So while Grace was in town, we went to Mood and did a lot of fabric shopping, of course. We walked to Chelsea and saw this insane sunset. The next day we went to Coney for breakfast, which was also the 4th of July, and they had like a hot dog eating contest. But we walked around. We got to see this amazing cat that lived at the freak show and would like attend the show. We walked around Coney. It was like really sunny. We got a lot of sun, but we talked like the whole time. But yeah, it was really crowded because of the 4th of July. And then of course, before Grace left, we had to go to the Brooklyn Cat Cafe and have some cat cuddle time. So I'm about to visit the MoMA archives to see original Fluxus materials. I'm pretty nervous. It's crazy. So I talked in length and wasn't recording. So I had applied for this back in June, and you know, as an artist, I feel like the Fluxus group really informs my work the most out of all the things I research. And then I teach performance art, and I also give a lot of workshops on the Fluxus workbook. So they're hugely influential to me. So I applied, but the earliest they had an opening was December. So I told them that I was here in the summer and I'd love a chance to go, and I didn't think I could come in December. So they put me on the waiting list. And then last night, they emailed me super late and they were like, can you do tomorrow at 1? And I was like, yes. So I feel like I'm not super mentally prepared. And I'm just trying to be like, yeah, I'm just excited and in shock. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to record this quick before my phone dies. It was raining outside. I didn't bring an umbrella. In fact, this lady who lives next to me who loves birds, who kind of speaks English, she was like, where is your umbrella? And I was like, I forgot it. So I just want to say, yesterday I got to go to the MoMA archives It was a sudden, like I didn't think I was going to get to go, but then I did get to go. And it was amazing. I got to like handle original Fluxus materials and sketchbooks. Yeah, honestly, I took so many notes and so many pictures because I was worried that I was in because I only got 4 hours, and I was just like, I've got to do it, and I was just like in shock. And so I was like, yeah, it was amazing. Maybe one of my favorite things I've done here so far. I had a meeting this morning. It was really good. I felt like she said something really cool. She said that there's a feminist aspect to my work because in our culture, like women are often encouraged to be like smaller and not take up space and not, historically, and not like overpower the man and stuff. And she said the fact that I keep trying to be like more colorful and louder and take up more space, that she said there's something political about that. And I thought that was a cool perspective. And then we had a field trip. And there's stuff I'm supposed to do this weekend. Like I think there's an opening tomorrow, and then one of the residency people, Lulu, has an artist talk on Sunday that I'd like to try to go to. But I found out that our number one proposal that Ben and I pitched, which was hanging flags in the tree, got accepted, and I've got like 2 weeks to pull all that together. So I may just have to like studio it up this weekend. Yeah. Some COVID has kind of gone around in the people that I've been around, and so I've been trying to see if I have any symptoms. Hopefully not, but so yeah, mind blown at the MoMA, and yeah, it's gonna take me forever to process that. Oh, I scored some gluten-free everything bagels today. That was a big win. That's often what I do after field trips. Because I can't find a Whole Foods or Trader Joe's in my area. So when I go into Manhattan for field trips for the residency, I just bring some. I have like a cold bag, and then I have some other big bags, and I try to hit up a gluten-free grocery store. That's one of my rules I was telling my friend Grace, I have all these rules, and like one of them is go to the bathroom when you can. These are New York rules. One of them is charge your phone when you can. And then, yeah, if you go into Manhattan, bring a cold bag.
So on the surface, so I would say not only the sizes and also the internal light, so they can work together. So they have to be the same weight, and so they can.
I'm starting to get ready to go to the studio. Today's Tuesday. I want to say July 13th. So I'm kind of in the the end spiral of all of this. So I have like 3 weeks left, or I guess like 2.5 really. So how this week looks, so it's such an interesting, this studio dynamic has been so interesting for me, because I definitely, like the people that had filed a noise complaint about my sewing machine, we totally worked it out, and we're friends, and it's great. But that being said, I want to be mindful of how I'm impacting those around me at the studio. And I anybody who sews like would get this. Like I am so used to just being like head down and sewing until I get a project done. And I'm almost immune to the sound. Like I don't even think about it, but especially because I'm doing appliques, which are like buttonhole stitches, and you just go around the edge like this, and it's just like this drone, like bzzz, forever. It takes forever. So I'm actually really grateful that person brought this to my attention, because when I work at home, my studio is in my home. Although I was just telling Clint that if I ever take on like another really big project, like I get like some huge budget or something, I may rent a studio for like that chunk of time, because I love because my work is not just flags. This is like one sub project and like a bigger thing. But it's been so fun to like have the wall space to like hang up all the flags and like explode in a space on just this one project. So I could see myself like, because I love to work from home in my pajamas because it's a lot of work to like get up and get ready. It's a lot of energy that I could be spending on my work. You know, I like to just get up in my pajamas and like put a banana in my mouth and like go downstairs and get to work. Whereas like I have to like get all dressed as an artist and pack my lunch and take, you know, a 45-minute train ride. And there's just like a lot of prep that's all time. That's, you know, when it's all said and done, it's probably like 2 hours there and maybe like an hour back. So that's 3 hours I could have been working on my work. So I would probably still do a lot of work from home, but I like this idea of like being able to like have like a white cube for like a specific project. But in any event, I'm grateful that this person pointed this out to me, because when I'm at home, I'll just like so and so and so. And, you know, I think Clint's used to the sounds too. So it was good that they brought that to my attention, because otherwise I would just be like sewing like crazy. So it's not that I don't sew during the day, because I do. I just try to like set a timer and I'll sew for an hour and then take an hour break, and which is like so healthy. Like I should get up and stretch, and like it's crazy that I'll sew for like 10 hours at a time. Like that is crazy. But I just want to be mindful of like how much sound space I'm taking up at this studio. So what I've been trying to do, especially because it's really darn hot at my studio, I have like a tiny little fan. It helps a lot, but it's really hot. There's no air conditioning. So what I've been trying to do, because I have a lot of like digital aspects to my work in my day. I don't know why. I just washed my hair and dried it, and it's just like crazy. So what I've been doing is like I get up and I sit in the apartment air conditioning and use the Wi-Fi and get a lot of the computer stuff out of the way, so that when I get there later in the day, because a lot of people leave around dinner time, so when I get there later in the day, I can do some like cutting and stuff when I first get there, and then when people start leaving, that's when I really start sewing. But I ended up staying at the studio last night until 12:30 because somebody that was right next to me stayed super late, and so I wasn't sewing as much as I had planned. So that was pretty late, but it was crazy, like, because I've taken the train, I don't know, maybe up to like 11, 12. And on weekends, the train's pretty packed at night. Like, I would prefer a packed train to an empty train, because if somebody tried to mess with you or something and it's just you, like, that's kind of scary. What I was not expecting is I got on my train at like 1 a.m. and the train was packed. I mean, packed with all kinds of people. There was like an elderly couple across from me, like falling asleep on each other's shoulders. And I was just like, what are all these people doing going to Brooklyn at 1 a.m. on a Monday? Like, it was so funny. I mean, I was one of them. It just was cracking me up. So how this week is looking and how I've kind of tackled this whole summer is I've been so grateful to have so many people that I just really love and trust come and visit me. And it's been cool because I've gotten to see the city from all these people's perspective, like these people that I really respect and love and trust in. So I pack in all the fun stuff that I want to do when those people come. And then when the people aren't here, I'm just like head down in the studio. And so my friend Mandy's coming Thursday, and I'm actually really grateful because I got weirdly homesick yesterday. I was like on Instagram looking at pictures of other people's cats, and it just made me so sad. Like, I just want to hug my cats and hug my husband and go out to lunch with my grandma, or, you know, go have dinner with my family, stuff like that. Like, it just like made me go into this like homesick spiral. So I have no idea why. I think our minds are just weird, and it's tough when you do stuff like this. I've done it before. I lived in Japan for a year, and it's like you feel like your heart is in two places, because of course you're super stoked to be like having all these new experiences and learning new things and meeting new people, but at the same time, like, you've built this like insane foundation where you're from of like people that you love and trust and support you. I mean, like, Clint's coming up in a week, and like an army of people are going to watch our special needs cats, and it is like the sweetest, most amazing thing. Like, I literally couldn't be here if it wasn't for the like huge amount of people that are sort of like lifting me up and helping me make this happen. So it's like, of course, like you want both. You want to like be, you know, where my home is my place of comfort, and I have my cats, I have my husband. So of course, like here, it's like everything is like 5 extra steps. You know, I've got to like take the train. I've got to do all these extra things to like make these things happen. So of course, like, I crave the comfort and the stability of what I know at home, but also I'm excited to like have new adventures. So it's like this weird mental dance. So I feel like head down in the studio is a great way for me to like push, like focus on ideas and focus on getting stuff done and not focus on how much I miss people. So Mandy coming this Thursday is much needed because she's my childhood friend. We've known each other literally since we were like 10, and she's like family to me. So, and that's been the best part of all these people visiting me, is it's like a little bit of home comes to me and then I feel less homesick. So cannot wait for Mandy to get here. And we're going to go see my friend Yali's performance on Friday. I'm so pumped for that. I love Yali's work. So tomorrow I've got a bunch of residency field trips and stuff, and I'm going to grab a measuring tape. I'm going to borrow a measuring tape from them. And then Thursday I've got some more residency stuff in the morning, and then I'm going to run out to Governor's Island and measure the tree that I'm going to hang in. And then I'm going to go pick up Mandy at JFK and bring her back. And then Mandy and I've got a bunch of fun stuff planned Friday through Monday morning. I take her back. I take her to LGA. I'm picking her up at JFK and taking her to LGA. So then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is just total head down in the studio 24/7. It's going to be bananas. And then Thursday I'm going to take hopefully all my stuff that's done to the studio, to Governor's Island. And then Friday at the crack of dawn, Clint's going to come in from LGA, and I'm going to rush him home to my apartment, drop off his bag. We're going to take a lift to Home Depot and get a 10-foot ladder. And then we're going to take this 10-foot ladder on a train and on a ferry to Governor's Island so that we can hang all my work in the tree all day on Friday. And then I'm going to show the work and do performances all day on Saturday. And thankfully my family will be here too, so they're going to kind of assist and stuff. And then that Sunday through probably like Thursday will be a combination of like, sightseeing with my family and packing things up and wrapping up loose ends. And then that Friday morning, my friend Jamie is going to fly in, and we're going to go pick up a moving truck in Brooklyn, and then we're going to go load up my studio, and then we're going to park the moving truck in my neighborhood. And it sounds like it's going to take us like hours to find a parking spot. And then hopefully we're going to go to Coney Island and see my freak show. Jamie loves circuses like me, so we have to share this together. So hopefully we'll go to Coney Island and see the freak show, and then we'll, I think she really wants to go see, I think she put us in a lottery for a bunch of Broadway shows, so we might do that. And then the next day we're going to load up the truck with my stuff and Anissa's stuff, and I think we're hoping to leave either the 30th or the 31st. No, sorry, we're going to leave the 31st in the morning. And then we're going to drive to Philly, and we're going to get lunch with my friend Chris, and I don't know, hopefully his husband will come too, I don't know. We're going to get Indonesian food again, and Chris has some stuff for me because he closed down one of his B&Bs, and he's giving us some of that stuff. And then hopefully I'm making a bunch of onesies for his son. I'm not making them, I'm like modifying them. So hopefully that week that my family's here and I'm cleaning up stuff, I'm also going to be like sewing onesies. But yeah, so Chris and I are going to trade some stuff. We're going to go to the Duchamp Museum, and then I'm guessing Jamie and I might drive a little bit more and then stay somewhere. I haven't actually talked to Jamie about our driving plans. I should. I'm guessing we're going to stay somewhere in the middle, but that's up to her. And then we're going to get the truck back to Cincinnati, unload it, dump it. So yeah, it's 2.5 weeks, and that sounds like a lot of time, but I'm going to blink and it's going to be over. So that's kind of why the homesickness was kind of silly in a sense, because I know I'm going to blink and I'm going to be home. But life is weird. Human brains are weird. This is what it looks like to be an artist. It's a crazy tornado, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So I'm getting dressed after doing some internet stuff and washing my hair and packing food for the day, and I'm gonna go to the studio and I'm gonna work. little bit more ready to go.